Happy Halloween, everyone! It's been some time and I've missed you all, but now it's that time of year again, my favorite time of year. A time when we celebrate fear and tell stories of ghosts and ghouls lurking the night. But what if it wasn't just stories? What if we could see these scary creatures with our own eyes? Today's video topic is 3 most dangerous Halloween games you should never play. But if you go against this rule, proceed with caution. The game you play may be your last. You have been warned. The Halloween Mirror Ritual. The purpose of this game is to see your future spouse reflected back in the mirror. But as with all games, there's a risk. You may see a skull, which will mean you're destined to die before you marry. There's a chance you may see other things in the mirror as well, possibly grim. To play this game, you'll need 1 player, a small mirror, salt, candles, matches or a lighter, a small item made of pure gold. This item is an offering, so choose it carefully because you won't receive it back. A timer, a quiet dark room in a building. And the building must have a cellar or a basement, but if you don't have access to one, then you'll need an additional large mirror. To play this game, you must wait until October 31st. Do not attempt to play it on any other day. On the day, bring your supplies to your quiet dark room in the chosen building. Get rid of any form of light, so if there are windows, draw the curtains, and extinguish any other sources of light. Also, unplug and turn off, remove batteries from anything that could cause noise. Begin precisely at 9 p.m. Place the mirror face up on the ground. Sprinkle a small amount of salt across the surface of the mirror. Place the candle nearby and light it. Now look into the mirror, but don't look at your reflection. Look behind your reflection. What do you see? If you see nothing, the ritual has failed. Do not proceed. Extinguish the candle, get rid of the salt, and turn on the lights. You may try again next Halloween. If you see a dark figure, then the ritual has succeeded. You may proceed. However, do not speak, make noise, turn around, or make any indication that you have seen this figure. Do not let it know that you know it's there. Now smash the mirror to pieces. Set your timer for 30 minutes. Carefully pick up the largest piece of the broken mirror in your hand, and pick up the candle and the offering of gold in the other. Hold the mirror up such that by looking into it, you can see behind you as you walk forward. Now leave the room. Using the candle to light your way, travel throughout the building, but keep one eye on the mirror as you go, and do not drop the mirror or the gold or allow the candle to blow out. Do not look away from the mirror at any point. If you see the dark shadow appear behind you in the mirror, run. Run until you can no longer see it in the mirror. Run as fast as you can, but do not let the candle go out. Continue traveling throughout the building in this manner until 30 minutes have passed. Now when the timer goes off after 30 minutes, quickly make your way to the lowest point in the building, so either the cellar or the basement, but if you don't have access to one, then go to the largest mirror in the building and stand before it. Drop the broken piece of mirror at your feet. In one hand, hold the gold offering out before you. In the other hand, keep hold of the candle. Do not let it blow out. Speak the following words aloud. I have evaded you for so long, for you have been merciful to allow me to do so. Extinguish the candle and close your eyes. Reach the hand out holding the gold as far as you can, and speak the following words aloud. As payment, receive this piece of gold. Drop the gold at your feet and keep your eyes closed. Now wait. If you begin to feel a cold, heavy pressure inside your mind, you may open your eyes. If you have made it this far, you will see it standing before you. You may speak to it now. If you wish, you may ask it anything you desire, from information you seek to a wish you long desired to be granted. It will answer you. After you have finished speaking to it, stay where you are and sleep if you can. Remain in place until the sun has risen. When it is high in the sky, you may depart, and congratulations, you've won the game. Now at no point should you leave the building before the game has been completed. But if you do not feel a cold and heavy pressure in your mind, then something has gone wrong. Did you make any mistakes? Did the candle blow out? Did you not run fast enough? You may have angered it. You may try throwing a small amounts of salt over your shoulder, but it is not foolproof, and in that case, it's best to keep running. Jack-o'-lantern. The purpose of this game is to summon an entity which you will have to outlast for an hour. Now it is shorter than most games akin to this, just an hour, but this hour will prove more difficult than you think. To play this game, you'll need one player, a red candle, matches or a lighter, a sheet of paper, a piece of black chalk, a hollowed out pumpkin, but do not carve a face into it. Leave it uncarved. An alarm clock, a dark, quiet room where you'll be undisturbed, and it must be located within your home, and salt. You'll begin this game at 11 p.m. on October 31st. Do not attempt to play it at any other time. Bring your supplies to your chosen room. Close the door behind you, draw the curtains, and block out any other form of light. Set the clock alarm to go off at midnight. Draw a pentagram on the sheet of paper using the black chalk. Place the pumpkin in the center of the pentagram, remove the top from the pumpkin and place it aside. Place the candle inside the pumpkin, light the candle, leave the top of the pumpkin, and turn out the lights. Position yourself near the piece of paper, pumpkin, and pumpkin top. Near enough that you can reach all of these objects without needing to reach too far. When you are positioned correctly and settled comfortably, draw a circle of salt around yourself on the floor. Now, to invocate an entity, you repeat the following chant aloud 4 times in total. I invocate all demons to possess this object and bring life to the jack-o'-lantern. I pray, I wish, I pray, I wish, I pray, I wish. And wait. If nothing in your environment has changed, the ritual has failed. Your opponent has chosen not to come, so do not proceed. Extinguish the candle, place the top back on the pumpkin, turn on the lights, and depart from the room. Return after the sun has risen and remove the pumpkin from the premises. Dispose of it as far away from your home as possible. You may try again next year with a different pumpkin. But if you feel a temperature drop, the ritual has succeeded and your opponent has arrived and you may proceed. To play this game, you'll sit quietly but pay attention. Remain inside the salt circle. You may hear a rustling whisper rising up out of the darkness, but remain calm. Do not move from the circle. You may feel the cold breath emerge from the darkness and brush across the back of your neck. But you must remain calm and do not move from the circle. You may see a faint outline of a figure in the darkness just beyond the light of the candle. The entity may try as hard as it can to draw you out of the circle. Whatever you sense or feel or whatever you experience, remain calm and do not under any circumstances remove yourself from the circle before the alarm clock has gone off. Now when your alarm clock goes off, quickly grab the pumpkin top you previously set aside and place it securely back on the pumpkin. Now wait. Wait until the whispers or any strange noises recede, and until the temperature warms, and until the figures fade. Just wait calmly. When you sense the room has returned to normal, remove the top from the pumpkin. If the candle has gone out, your opponent has departed and you may proceed. But if the candle is still lit, your opponent has not left. Place the pumpkin top back on the pumpkin immediately. Do not move yourself from the circle and wait a few moments more, then remove the top from the pumpkin and check the candle again. Repeat this process until, when you remove the top from the pumpkin, you find the candle has gone out. And once this occurs, you may proceed to end the game. When the candle has gone out, you may safely step outside of the circle and turn on the lights, open the door to the room, and remove the pumpkin from the room and dispose of it immediately. Do not keep it with you for another night. And ensure that you dispose of it as far away from your home as possible, destroying it completely. But if the candle never goes out, then I am sorry. Remember, you play at your own risk. The Devil Game. In this game, you'll be summoning a dark entity to play against you in a game in order to win a prize. To play this game, you'll need one player in an empty church. The church must be during the hours when no one else is present, no mass is occurring. You must be alone in this church. You'll also need a spool of red thread, a ball of red twine or yarn, or a coil of red rope is fine. Salt, lots of it. And candles, 7 of them. You'll also need matches or a lighter, and an excellent sense of the passage of time. And the last thing you'll need to prepare is the information you seek, the knowledge you wish to learn, any questions you wish to ask, and answers you wish to receive. Think carefully, and be careful what you wish for. Now to start the game, you'll wait until the day that holds a particular kind of significance, like October 31st. That day is recommended, but other days are permissible. Before midnight, gather your supplies and enter your chosen church. And choose a location in the church where you won't be disturbed should anyone come in. In that room or location, make your preparations. Set up the mirror. It should be standing upright, such that you are able to see your full reflection should you look into it. Take out your red thread, yarn, twine, or rope and wrap it around the mirror at least 3 times and tie it off. Wrap it around and tie the thread tightly enough that it stays where you wrapped it when you let it go. It should not fall onto the floor, and do not let any of the thread to unravel at any point during the ritual. Create a circle of salt around the mirror. If a full circle is not possible, like say the mirror is hanging on the wall, create a half circle of salt with each end touching the wall, and do not allow the circle to become broken at any point. Place the candles evenly around the perimeter of the salt circle and light them one by one, moving clockwise around the circle. Do not allow the candles to go out at any point. These preparations should be complete at or shortly after midnight. If you take too long to complete them, the ritual will fail. Now once your preparations are complete, make sure all the doors are shut and turn off any lights. Here is where you'll perform a sacrilegious or blasphemous act. Suggested acts include disrespecting the church in any way or any divine entities, such as taking the Lord's name in vain, etc. Now stand before the mirror. Make sure to keep the salt circle and the circle of candles between it and yourself, and focus your gaze on the mirror. Focus your attention on the entity, on visualizing it, and calling it there, inviting it to join you. Now close your eyes and calmly and evenly count to 10. Then open your eyes. If you only see yourself, then the ritual has failed. Turn the lights, extinguish the candles, and clean up your supplies and leave the church. Leave no trace of your presence, and you may try again another time. But if you see something else, the ritual has succeeded, and do not be alarmed. Do not meet your entity's gaze, but neither should you allow it out of your sight at any point during the proceedings, and you may proceed. You have 1 hour and 6 minutes. Now the game will begin. The entity will ask you what you want. It may be direct. It may dance around the subject, but pay attention. You must determine when is the time to respond, and do not let it out of your sight. Tell it what you want. Tell it if you wish to challenge it to a game of questions, a game of answers, a game of prompts and responses. You may use whatever language you like to make your wish. However, it's recommended to be as specific as possible. Remember, be careful what you wish for. Do not allow the entity to twist your words or turn them from their meaning. Do not allow it out of your sight, and once it accepts your challenge, the game will begin. Your opponent will go first. It will ask you a question. Answer the question as accurately as you're able to, and after you've answered its question, you may ask your own. Listen to its answer and remember it as best as you can, but know that it may not be true. After it has answered your question, it will ask you another question of its own. Answer it, then again ask your own question and listen to its response. Proceed in this fashion for as long as you wish, or before 1 hour and 6 minutes has elapsed. Do not allow the game to run longer than that, and never allow the entity out of your sight. To end the game, when you have decided to end it, thank your opponent for playing. Bow to your opponent at the waist. This is the only point when it may be allowed to be out of your sight. While you're bowing, bid it farewell, and rise from your bow. Look into the mirror. When you are certain you see yourself reflected in it once more, all of yourself reflected truthfully back at you, nothing else amiss, you may turn away from it and turn on the lights. Extinguish the candles, clear up the salt, leave the thread tied around the mirror, and leave the premises, taking all of your supplies with you. Do not leave a trace of your presence. Do not bring the mirror to your home, but store it somewhere safe. Position it so that it faces the wall or lay it face down on the floor and never use it again. Make sure no one else uses it either. Do not allow it to break, and do not allow the thread to unravel. A few things to remember. Make sure you don't keep any electronic devices on you, not even to keep track of the time. This is why you need an excellent sense of the passage of time. And don't ever allow the conversation to go off topic. And never look your opponent directly in the eye while you play, but don't look away from it completely either at any point. You must have a good sense of the passage of time, because if you allow the game to go on longer than 1 hour and 6 minutes, you may find that the game may never end. If you dare to try any of the games or have survived playing them, let me know which ones in the comments below. For more scary content, check out my friend's channel Luminol, the link is in the description below. That's all for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, happy Halloween, and as always, stay spooky everyone.